All right, this will be a trade recap for Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Pretty good day in the market. Kind of had some unexpected level of sell-off, but earnings season, stuff like this happens. Valid levels. Still, again, everything worked as expected, so there's nothing that the strategy didn't cover. So all in all, good. Another day of one and done and first to trigger. So this is number 2 of 30. But before we get into that, let's go over how to do this and who and where to learn this from. So without further ado, here it is. I am a student of this gentleman. This is Pat Mitchell. He is a professional day trader, though he originally was in blue-collar work, and he has been in the markets for a little over a decade now, and he has built up a incredible process and knowledge base when it comes to learning how to day trade. He runs a service called Trick Trades. He has also put together inside of Trick Trades a program called SizeUp, and that's what I do. And it is a structured program for learning how to day trade. You start with a small cash account and you basically build that up with your education, experience, and screen time to eventually hit different milestones and become a full-time professional day trader. So if you're interested in something like that, great person, probably one of the highest quality coaches when it comes to day trading out there. If not the highest quality, I don't personally know of any other coaches that I can stand by or say that about. And I've been around a few of them in terms of their services, and nothing even comes close to what Pat offers. So if you're looking for a high quality coach, I cannot recommend him enough. And like I said before, you can find him over at tricktrades.com. He also has a YouTube channel on his own where he posts recaps usually daily. If you want to check that out, you can get a little preview of the kind of information he offers and the quality. And that is just a very, very small amount of the knowledge he possesses. But yeah, definitely check him out. It will be worth your time and effort to go through some of his content and judge for yourself. And with that being said, let's get into the charts. So, as I said before, doing the one and done and first to trigger using 1 to 3 contracts, and do that consistently for the next 30 days and stick to it. The entire point of this is to demonstrate and build consistency and maintain and develop discipline. So on this one, we have our daily chart here on the left, intraday chart, 1 minute candles here in the middle, order execution on the right. All these levels are plotted pre-market by Pat, and he develops a trade plan, and then we go over it and see exactly where the most ideal levels are, moving averages, and all that. And then, as you can see, pretty big range on the day, came all the way down, got bought up. But in the morning, with the way things were setting up, looking a little bit closer at Qs, and that's where the focus was because of just where things were opening up, and we're looking for that first one to trigger. So that was Qs. So opened, kind of messing around with the level initially, popped back up into it, and that's basically right in here is where I entered. As you can see right there, only managed to get in 1 contract just because of the way this tested the level. And the moment it resolved, paid myself. Now, if I'd been given more opportunity, would I've gotten a correction or add in there? Yes, but sometimes it just doesn't happen and it follows through and didn't really come back up to test and came all the way down into this level, which would have been the initial target, simply because pay yourself and do technical support or resistance is always a smart idea. And with one contract, that's what you got at a max. But even then, you want to pay yourself on that first reaction, which I did. If I had more size than it, could have maybe peeled it out down into the level. But again, that's not the situation here. And yeah, pretty straightforward. And it worked. So that is number 2 of 30. So still a ways to go. Yeah, but it's one of those things with this strategy and the way Pat lays everything out and teaches. The first rated trigger, I mean, has a ridiculously high hit rate. It is a little scary when you actually think about it. But hey, I mean, doesn't mean, again, I think everyone kind of conflates hit rate again and it being potentially so high that it's not really believable. But the thing is, I think a lot of people get that confused with what makes a trade quote unquote work. Like, if that's all the trade gave and came right back up and just ran all the way up to whatever, a lot of people would say, again, failed trade because you're looking to short that level. But even with the style and methodology here that Pat has developed, even when it's that first traded trigger and the larger, medium to larger picture, it doesn't necessarily work out. When you pay yourself on that first reaction, especially with a small account that you're trying to build, I mean, it's one of those things where day in, day out, it just works, which is why it has such a high hit rate. And it's simple, straightforward, and it's one of those odd things that people would say that's so simple that they would want to say that there's got to be more to it, but it's one of those things where there really isn't. But yeah, I mean, if this is something you want to learn, especially if you're new or struggling as a day trader, definitely see Pat Mitchell over at tricktrades.com. Go check out his YouTube channel at Trick Trades just to see a slice, a preview of what it is he does day in, day out, and the quality of the information he gives, especially the free information. That's very high quality, but it is not. It is just scratching the surface with what he's going over, and he can go into everything, every aspect of this in great depth and detail, and he does so every day on screen share and in his mentoring live classes, everything. So it's one of those things where if you want to learn this, he's the man to see, and you will not be disappointed. Now, with that said, he's a coach, he's a mentor. You have to be receptive to coaching, to learning, to realizing the way you're doing things, especially if this isn't working out for you, you're struggling, like may not be the best or the right way to do it. So having an open mind and being coachable is also very important, and not fighting your coach. So just a little perspective on that. And with that said, that's all I got on this one. A little bit shorter, but it's a pretty simple day, even though pretty wild candle. But earnings season and all that, who really gives a crap? The trade was done. Move on with your day. Enjoy it. Do whatever the hell you want. It's kind of the pattern of behavior you really want to build. Just get in, do your thing. Once you're done, pack it in, move on, and enjoy the rest of your day. Can't get much better than that. So, with that said, catch everyone tomorrow for the next one. Later.